Hello my beautiful friends and welcome back to my channel. This is Nova Gnome Creations and I'm Nova, and today is the first day of our 25 days of Christmas. Woo! So if you are new here, check out my video from yesterday. I will link it in the description. Where I talk about what we're going to be doing for the 25 days of Christmas. I will also link a video I did a couple weeks ago where I talked about like ideas that were kind of in plans for each day of the 25 days of Christmas. Or if you don't want to, keep it a surprise, hang out, and every day you could be surprised. We are going to be having 25 days leading up and including Christmas where I'm going to put out a Christmassy themed video. What's that mean? That means fun things like our 25 days of cocoa. We're going to open this every day and see what the unique flavor of cocoa is for the day. It means Christmas projects. And the biggest thing that I am planning on doing is, you see this tree in the background? Well, it only has a couple of ornaments on it. And there's a reason for that. This is going to be our crochet Christmas tree. So there's a couple ornaments on there because they are crochet ornaments that were my late grandmother-in-law's, and they are very old, and you can kind of tell they're kind of, discolored, and they are like made with like thread weight yarn. And like stiffened up and stuff. They're really cute. If you want to see what those look like up close, in my community tab last night, I posted some pictures of them up close. But we are going to be making ornaments all month long for this tree. So I'm going to be sharing patterns that I find that I make, or posting tutorials for things that I make up myself, or just taking you along for the journey while I make something, but maybe not necessarily a tutorial. I have a rough idea of what I'm going to be doing for the 25 days, but I also am just going to like feel it out and follow the energy. If I feel like doing something totally off the wall and different, or inspired by something else, then that's what I'm going to do that day. But we are going to do something fun and Christmassy every day, probably multiple things that are Christmassy every day, and I am super excited. So I hope you guys enjoy the setup. There is my little Gnomies stocking all colored in. We colored that on the channel. If you missed that, you can definitely go search for it. On my channel, not only can you scroll through my videos, but you can also click the little magnifying glass search option and you can type in things. So I always try to name my videos in a way that is easily searchable. So if you want to see me coloring that stocking and hanging out, it's very much like a hang out and chat kind of video, really relaxed video. You'll just type in stocking and anything that I've posted with stocking in the name will pop up. So in case you didn't know about that, that is a really helpful feature. Let's get into opening our first day of our hot cocoa countdown. So the first day is right here at the front. And I should be able to just push on here. Yeah. Push on here and reveal what my first day is going to be. Oh, it's peppermint cocoa. Bum ba da ba. So I am going to go make the first hot cocoa of the 24 days. And that is just because it's not including Christmas Day, which is totally fine. The Christmas Day video, I'm not exactly sure what I'm going to do for yet. I'm going to probably pre-record that video. That way Christmas is obviously going to be a day spent with my family. But I'll probably do a pre-recorded video and post something fun. In case anybody has, time and they want some company on Christmas, I would love for you to be able to have a video on Christmas. But anyway about it, I'm going to go make this cocoa and I will be right back. All right, I'm back and I have it in my Powered by Coffee and Yarn mug. So this is peppermint hot chocolate, which I love peppermint hot chocolate. Ooh, that is really good. Very like refreshing because it's got like the chocolatiness, but then also the mintiness. If you've never had peppermint hot chocolate, I highly recommend peppermint hot chocolate. It is one of my favorite things. I don't know if you can see this, but my glasses fog up when I go to take a drink. Ah, super good. Here you go. I'm handing you some through the computer or phone or whatever you're watching on. So you virtually have a mug of peppermint hot cocoa. So, jumping in, I'm going to start out with opening a piece of Happy Mail. I already opened this, but I wanted to show you guys because it was so cute. For one, this came all the way from the UK. I want to make sure I don't show any addresses. So I will cover up this little spot. But look, it has a little bee on it. And I was like, International Standard, Royal Mail. I kind of geeked out a little, not gonna lie. I'm gonna have to keep the envelope. But look what was made for me. So this is from Trudy in England. It says, long distance hugs on your birthday, Nova. And this is actually in the card, like printed into the card, my name. Isn't that so cool? And then there are little bee stickers inside. And it says, to Nova, hope you have a brilliant birthday. Love watching you on YouTube. You brighten my day. Love and hugs from Trudy L in England. So that made my day. I am giving you hugs. I'm hugging your card. Thank you so much for wishing me a happy birthday all the way from England and making this cute card. What? That was so, like, special. Thank you so much. I wanted to make sure that I got to squeeze that into the video, even though we technically started our Christmas videos, because there will be things that aren't Christmassy also in them. Hey, stop trying to fall at my hot chocolate. Okay, so let's see. Where do we start? Okay, so today, just to talk about our theme a little bit, our theme was showing that the tree is up. I got it up last night, so this was kind of the unveiling. We've got our crochet tree, and just talking about the 25 days of Christmas that we're doing. I kind of talked about it yesterday, so I sort of headed it off because I was just too excited, but that is what today's theme is. However, tomorrow I wanted to present to you guys the tree skirt that I'm making, and I hadn't started it yet. So I started it last night, and that is what I'm going to be working on today. So I will give you guys a sneak peek of the tree skirt so far. And it's going to be like it goes around, but it's not actually connected. Like that. And here's what it's looking like. So I picked 2 yarns that have gold running through them. I'm not sure how much you can tell with the white in the current like lighting and stuff, but it is also a gold metallic. So this red has a gold metallic and the white has a gold metallic to it. And then the green doesn't have a metallic to it because I didn't have a green with a metallic in it. But I thought that these would be pretty colors for the tree skirt. Oops. So here's what we're looking like so far. There's your little sneak peek of that. And tomorrow you'll get to see it in all of its glory. And then, oh, I worked on a couple things. So I'm like, where to start? Okay. I'll start with the ugly Christmas sweaters that I'm working on. So you guys know that I'm working on an ugly Christmas sweater for a baby and for a toddler. If you don't know, I recommend watching the last few videos where I talked about that. I showed the sweaters. I showed some of the like appliques that I've been working on, but I worked on some more, and this was a highly requested one. Everybody was saying, you have to do, drum roll, a gnome. You have to do a gnome. So I did a Santa gnome. So there will be a Santa gnome on my nephew's cardigan, because I made him a cardigan and her a sweater, you know, the pull over your head kind of sweater. So, and okay, I know from the front this looks like an amigurumi, but are you ready for this? Dun, 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 dun. It's not. It's flat. It's an applique. And I made this up. So, this beard is the same beard that I do for my pocket gnome tutorial. And then I just freehanded a body and then did a chain for the belt and freehanded a hat. And then I double stranded the same green that I'm using in this with an eyelash green for the like trim on the hat. Because, you know, normally a Santa hat has like a puffy white trim, but because my beard is this puffy white, I didn't want to use white again because I thought it would all just kind of be one note and blend together. And then when I put it on, this is going to be another spot that gets a pom-pom, so I'm going to have a little white pom-pom at the top. I love this. I am so happy with how it came out. I wanted to do a Santa gnome and I just was kind of winging it, and I just really love how it came out. So that is another applique down for the ugly Christmas sweaters. And then I pulled out this book, which you guys may remember me being really excited to have gotten in my little birthday haul when I bought some secondhand stuff. So I was really excited for this. And I thought we would do a little book look as part of today's Christmas video, because what is more Christmassy than snowflakes? Okay, maybe a lot of stuff, but snowflakes are Christmassy too, okay? So, something really cool about this book is that they put in the front of the book that everything is to size, which I am not used to ever, like literally ever, things being to size. But the snowflakes, if you work them up in the crochet thread, I think 10 millimeter. I'm not really familiar with crochet thread, so this is like a whole new realm for me. I've never used it until yesterday. But if you work them up in the right, like, crochet thread and with the same size hook, you know, obviously I'm sure tension matters a little bit, but these will be the size that they are in the book. Isn't that cool? So they have a really nice way of laying these out that makes it perfect for a book look, because they put them all on one page, well, across a few pages, but you don't have to go to each pattern to show the picture. So I can do it like this. Focus you. Let's see. That might be a little bit better. All right, so we've got our first snowflake. I'm not going to say the names of these because most of them I have no idea how to pronounce them. But it has the name of the snowflake and the page number. So I'm just going to show you. And there's our second one, which is this bluish one. Our third one, which is this white one. I'm just not even going to go in order. I'm just going to show you the ones that are on the page. So we've got this one, which is our 10th one. I'm not sure why there's another one down here, but I think that might be the same snowflake. Our set, is that our second one? Oh yeah, the other one was our 5th one. I was looking at this reversed in my camera, and so I didn't even realize this is technically the second one. But anyway, I'm just going to kind of give you guys an overall look. So you can see what kind of goodness awaits in this 100 snowflakes. I love that blue one. What one is that? Number 8. I love that one. That's like a really classic snowflake kind of shape. And then these are all so pretty. I love that one. I really like these like classic snowflake shapes, like this one and this one up here. There you go. Now you can kind of see the whole spread at the same time. And these should be true to size also. So it looks like these are some maybe a little bit bigger snowflakes. I like this white one. I think it's just going to be a theme. I like all of these kind of ones. But I need to get some stiffening stuff because I did try making one of those ones. Spoiler alert. And I have one roll of crochet thread that I have. And it's actually funny because I got that before I ever started crocheting. Do you guys want to know my big gateway into crocheting? So that blue one down there at the bottom is really cool looking. Kind of gives me mandala vibes. It was, believe it or not, a rigid heddle loom that I found at Goodwill. So it was like, I have it in the other room actually. I'm about to donate it to Goodwill because I think it's time that it moved on and inspired someone else. But it's like those types of things that you thread going vertically across, and then horizontally across you weave the yarn in and out between the threads, like over under, and then you take this like piece of wood and pull it back and it kind of squishes it all, and then you do that across and you can make like a thin strip, because this one is just like not a very big one. It's probably technically a children's toy, although I don't know any child that could set that thing up. I struggle to set that thing up. But that was actually my gateway into the yarny world. I've always been obsessed with like yarn and fabric and things like that. I've always loved the idea of like weaving and stuff like that. And like I told you guys before, I've tried knitting in the past like multiple times and I just could not get it down. Oh, I love this blue one and that purple one and this blue one. I honestly just love all of these. So that was like my actual first like dip into getting to play with yarn, and I was so proud. It took millions of years to use this thing. It is very slow, and like setting it up legitimately takes like an entire day for me. Maybe I'm just terrible at it, but it's a process, okay? And I'll probably like try to pop a picture up for you guys so you can see what I'm talking about with what a rigid heddle loom is if you don't know. And then from there I found out about looms, and then I ended up getting like circular looms and making hats and like the like rectangle ones that you make scarves on and stuff like that. And then eventually I ended up into crochet. But where was I going with this story? Oh, right. I got the thread, the crochet thread, to use on that because, like I said, you weave the yarn in like over and under the thread. So I actually have one roll of crochet thread. Oh, it just tastes Christmassy. Peppermint hot chocolate is just Christmassy to me. It was actually the perfect flavor. Oh, and you guys have seen all the snowflakes now. So now we are just moving into the patterns. So I really like the way that that's laid out because it gives you a very visual way of picking out your snowflake and tells you what the name of it is and what page it's on. So that's like super user friendly to be able to just like, okay, what kind of aesthetic, what kind of size, what kind of shape, you know. So what I did was, the way that these are laid out, I'm just going to kind of cover this with my arm so you can see. But the way that these are laid out, they go in order. Like, here's the first snowflake, here's the second snowflake, third, and fourth, spread out across the pages. I wanted to hide the pattern because I know that's a big no-no. How bright does this get? Did I have it up this bright? I don't think I had it up that bright. Okay, so the way that it's laid out, you can just like across the two pages, you have like your first, your second, your third, your fourth. So I was like, you know what? I think I'm going to try to do a snowflake every day. So I wanted to add a snowflake every day to our itinerary. I think agenda also works, but for some reason my brain is like a nefarious agenda. But I know that you can technically call like a planner like an agenda planner. So 2-hour itinerary, we will say. And I was like, okay, so I can go in order and make all these snowflakes. Well, one thing I definitely learned is that I'm going to need some stiffening stuff. But I also made one snowflake. The first snowflake I made out of worsted weight yarn because this is going to be an applique for one of the sweaters. So I'm not going to make them all out of crochet thread. I'm sure I'll kind of alternate around with what kind of yarns I use. But I made this one and that's going to go on the sweater. And I think it's so cute. This is just made out of Red Heart Super Saver, just white worsted weight yarn. And then the second one I made, this was my first time ever crocheting with thread, guys. So I was super excited about that. And there's what that bad boy looks like. And this one doesn't okay, it needs to be stiffened just because it is just, super floppy. But the shape of it and everything looks good. But I made the third snowflake. To give you an idea, it's the pink one. And it did not work out. And I'm not sure if it was fully because of needing to stiffen it or if it was partially because I needed to redo it and do a better job maybe. Because the way that the patterns are written is a little bit not how I'm used to patterns being written. I was trying to think if I could give you an example without telling you too much of the pattern. Okay, so I'll just tell you one round. It says, okay, so round 2 is chain 1 counts as single crochet. Asterisk, chain 7, skip 1 single crochet, and 1 single crochet. Repeat from asterisk 4 times. Chain 7, join with slip stitch and initial chain 1. That one's not as bad. Actually, let me look at the pattern the one that I actually struggled with. I don't want to say as bad. I'm not saying this is bad at all. It's just not how I'm used to reading patterns. Let me find the part I had trouble with a little bit. Okay, so this is round 3 of this one that I was trying to do that I'm not sure if I 100% did it right. And it is chain 1 counts as single crochet, asterisk, chain 11 and slip stitch in 4th chain from hook to form picot, chain 6, slip stitch in 1st chain of chain 11, single crochet and next double crochet in brackets, 2 single crochet, chain 6, 2 single crochet, in chain 3 space to form loop, asterisk, single crochet, 1 double crochet, or in 1 double crochet, repeat from asterisk 4 times, and from asterisk to double asterisk 1 more, join with slip stitch and initial chain 1. That part was confusing to me. I'm not used to them being putting things in different amounts of asterisks and then saying okay, repeat this and that many times and repeat that many times. It just was a little bit not it didn't flow for me when I was trying to work on it. And so I had to sit here and stare at this so long trying to be what am I doing? So like I said, not anything to be bad about the book, but it is just written a little bit odd to me. But to give you a little bit more info about the way the book is set up, it has a little description. So for this one that I'm looking at right now, it says, a stellar crystal is a flat star-shaped ice crystal. In other words, a perfect snowflake. The one before it was, you might find ice crystals like this one decorating your window on a late fall morning. So this one that I did is called Frost. So this is supposed to be the frost that's on your window. And I'll just tell you the first one too, because these are interesting. This small sharp-edged flake is named for the barber, a blizzard of snow and ice in the Gulf of St. Lawrence. So I think that's pretty cool. You could even use this as an educational thing, kind of learning about the different types of snowflakes and stuff. And then it says finished diameter, and it has the inches and the millimeters, and thread required. It has the amount of yardage and the amount of meters that you're going to use. So it has that detail. And I believe that this whole book is worked up in 10, I want to say it's like 10 millimeter thread. Snowflakes are usually crocheted from cotton crochet thread that comes in sizes 3 to 100 with higher numbers indicating finer threads. Thicker threads are easiest to crochet, and for that reason, all the patterns in this collection were designed for a size 10 thread. So I really like the way the front of this book is done. They tell you the tools and materials that you're going to need. It even tells you about the stiffener or starch and like the different types that you can get. And there is a page on blocking. There's also a page on abbreviations, how to make a slip knot, all of that kind of reminder stuff. That double crochet, single crochet. And then here is the info on how to block them. So I want to get some stiffener so that I can block them, because you block them with heavy laundry starch, fabric stiffener, or if you don't want a stiff snowflake, you can do water. And I did see that you can make your own fabric stiffener, so I might try that. But anyway, I wanted to show you guys that and show you guys my snowflakes. So applique, and I don't know what I'm going to do with this one yet. Probably not an applique for the Christmas sweaters. This might just, might turn into an ornament for the tree. But, and I forgot to tell you guys what yarn I used for this, I just realized. So I used this Bernat Christmas Sparkle, my thrift store find yarn that I love. So, it's like a tiny skein, and I do have a few. I don't think the other ones have ball bands, so I was excited to use that. This green is Big Twist, but I do not have the ball band with it anymore, so it's the dark green color. And same with this white. I don't have the ball band for it anymore, but this was a clearance yarn, and this was actually one of the first yarns I bought when I started crocheting, and I didn't know anything about yarn. And then this yarn was not a very beginner friendly yarn. It is like a roving style, I think, where it gets thicker and thinner. This is actually a perfect example right here of how it's really thick, and then it's really thin. And then it's really thick, and then it's really thin. So this is not a beginner-friendly yarn, so it's just kind of been hanging out in my stash, and I've used it a little bit here and there. But the issue I was having with this yarn is that this is not the yarn for every project. This is like specific projects, and I wasn't sure what specific projects were. I hope you can see the gold in this. It's so weird because in real life you can see it, but it's like getting blown out from the white. Or light. There you go, kind of. Then you just can't see it at all. So yeah, I've tried using it before, but in a lot of projects it makes it look like gappy, you know, because it's not the same thickness. So like some of your stitches will look like gappier than others. So you have to use it for the right project, and I was actually inspired to use that because Jennifer at Cinnamon and Stitches, she made a tree skirt recently, and she was saying that one of the yarns that she used was a thick to thin type of yarn like that. And I was like, oh my gosh, is this the project? Is this the project that I should use this yarn on? Because I've struggled to figure out what to use that yarn for. And so I'm really happy with how it's working up in here. I think this is a good project to use that thick to thin type of yarn. And oh, it's like, I actually think it's the same brand, as the yarn that she used. I don't know if that was the thick to thin yarn that she was talking about, but she did have one with the same type of ball band that this one had, which was like, I think a KM. And it has like 2 cross like crochet hooks, I think, if I remember right. It's a very sleek, like elegant looking designed ball band. It's like black, KM, and then like the 2 crossed hooks or something. And like I said, this was in clearance, and I think I paid like $3 for it, and it was like originally like a very expensive yarn, which is why I bought it, because newbie me was like, oh my gosh, this yarn is so cheap and it's like really bougie looking. Look at this fancy yarn. I have to get this for really cheap. And I got it at Joann's, which I don't get to go to like in person to Joann's very often. The only time I get to is if I'm out of town. So I was out of town and picking up yarn like really early on in my crochet journey. I was actually getting Bernat blanket yarn, because when I started crocheting, I made everything in Bernat blanket yarn. I was making amigurumi. And I was making like big puffy fluffy amigurumis in blanket yarn, but then I also saw that and I picked that up, and it's still with me. So I hope you guys have enjoyed the first day of our 25 days of Christmas. I am super excited to be hanging out with you guys and doing these Christmassy themed episodes. I will see you guys tomorrow, and I will finish up this, probably work on some more appliques, and make a new snowflake. So we're going to be having a couple things that we do every day. We're going to do a snowflake a day, a hot cocoa a day, and I almost forgot, a shout out a day. So I'm going to do a shout out for a small channel, probably under 1,000 subscribers. There might be 1 or 2 sprinkled in that maybe are a little bit more, but for the most part, these are going to be channels that are probably under 500 subscribers even, but like really definitely under 1,000 subscribers. So I'm going to do a shout out, one person a day for all 25 days in that spirit of like giving. I would love it if you guys would go over and hit subscribe on these channels if you feel so inclined. Obviously, you can check out their content first, see if it, speaks to you, see if you like their style. I'm not asking anybody to subscribe if you don't, vibe with somebody's style, but go over to their channel, check them out, maybe comment on a video, give them a like. Imagine how happy they will be as like a little Christmas surprise to get this little influx of followers, get some people liking their videos. These are channels that maybe don't get that many comments or don't get that many likes, or channels that are working on hitting that 1K goal, that 1K subscriber goal. How cool would it be to gift them with 1K subscribers for Christmas? So today I am going to shout out Manfa's Makes, because she is working on, her and Mike are both working on getting that channel to 1,000 subscribers so they can hit monetization. They already have their other goals hit for monetization. They just need 1,000 subscribers, and they are so close. So if you are not already a subscriber of Manfa's Makes, I will link her channel in the description box, and you should head over there and check her out. She is super sweet. She does Monday magazine looks with the Crochet magazine. Old subscription, like a few years old, but it's super fun to flip through and see the different patterns and just kind of have like a chill chat. I love to crochet and hang out and like watch the magazine flip throughs. Just a very like relaxing crochet and chat kind of style video. She also does a tile of the week, which is like a granny square. It's a granny square of the week, and they do a video for that, and it's out of this it's not 100 tiles. Is it 100 tiles? I don't know. There's a tile book. I don't remember. I think it's 100 tiles. It might be more than that, but they're doing that, and some people are participating with them in that. So they've got some cool stuff going on over there, and she posts every day. So you guys should check that out if you are so inclined. And apart from that, I hope you guys have a wonderful day. I hope you're doing well. I hope your families are doing well, and that everybody is staying warm and safe and cozy, healthy. If you are sick, if you're struggling, I hope that you feel better soon. I hope that you're getting lots of rest, plenty of fluids, whatever it is that you need to feel better. I hope that you are taking care of that and taking care of yourself. And hopefully you can squeeze in a little crochet time while you're at it. All right. I love you guys. I will see you tomorrow, and I hope everybody has a wonderful day. Happy first day of our 25 days of Christmas. Bye, guys.